Hi, I'm Meryl from the Ministry of Eco-Education, and I'm going to give you a 5-minute update on the latest science of the climate crisis. This is really just designed for teachers that you might want to include some of it in your teaching practice. Now, up above me, you can see Ed Hawkins warming stripes. Each stripe is 1 year. And as you can see, over the last 50 years or so, we're getting much warmer. Those stripes are getting much more red. So let's find out what's going on. Now, most of the data I present today is from the World Meteorological Organization. It's their State of the Climate Report 2024, and it was presented at COP29, which was in Azerbaijan. This is the conference of the parties where nearly all the countries around the world get together around the table to discuss climate finance, climate justice, and climate action and try and come to some consensus. It's a tricky process, as you can imagine. So what's been reported is that greenhouse gases have reached record levels in 2023, and those levels are still increasing in 2024. So the latest data suggests that carbon dioxide is at 151% of pre-industrial levels. It's going up, and the reason it's going up is because of burning fossil fuels predominantly. But there's also some other issues going on, such as natural sinks, the oceans, forests, soils are no longer taking up as much carbon dioxide as they used to. CH4 is methane. Methane is predominantly, again, from the fossil fuel industry, as set off in flaring, but also from defrosting permafrost ground, the melting in the Arctic areas, Arctic tundra, and also the dairy industry and the farming industry, predominantly cattle, are creating lots and lots of methane. So farming is a big emitter. Then we've got nitrous oxide. These are tiny amounts that we're talking about in terms of parts per billion, but they're going up. And nitrous oxide is particularly potent as a greenhouse gas. It's mainly related to fertilizers, again, farming, but also industrial processes. So we've got quite a lot of issues going on with the greenhouse gases, and that's causing this. So as you can see, from 1860 up to the 2020, temperatures are going up, and the rate of increase is increasing as well. Between January and September 2023, we hit 1.54 degrees above the pre-industrial average, and that 1.5 degrees was the level suggested by the UN and the IPCC that was a safe level. Every fraction of a degree above 1.5 degrees matters. We really, really need to try and keep this below 2 degrees if we can. And that's why teachers are involved, because education is essential. So it's causing other issues as well. So the oceans are getting warmer. The oceans collect about 90% of the heat from they're a sink for heat, but they're getting warmer, and that's making life more stormy on the seas, but it's also affecting marine ecosystems, mass die-offs, coral bleaching. None of this is great news. And again, the rate of increase is still going up as temperatures get warmer. Now, sea levels are rising. As water gets warmer, it expands. We've got melting of the ice caps, both the Arctic and the Antarctic. And so over the last decade, average rate of sea level increase is about 4.77 millimeters. But already around coastlines, we're seeing more cliff erosion. We're seeing low-lying islands, the Pacific Islands, really struggling with this increase in sea level. And the only way to stop that is to start, reducing the global warming. So we've seen global weather patterns are changing. We know that places are getting much, much drier. The Amazon is in a severe drought, and places in southern Africa. So you can see that drought's happening, and that affects people in terms of water scarcity and farming. But also we're getting these horrendous flooding that you might have seen everywhere from Brazil, in Valencia in Spain and Indonesia just in the last couple of weeks. So these and it's because as you go up a degree, every degree means that the clouds can contain 7 or 8% more water, and that just comes down in these torrential localized floods. So if we just go to the Met Office now, the latest results from the Met Office would suggest that over autumn this year, you can see that torrential flooding again, Tenbury Wells, places like that, is being really impacted. But also we've got drought, and these changes in weather patterns are affecting our food security. Last year, they estimate that our crops were down about 20% just because either it was too wet or too dry. So this climate change is shifting these patterns that we've been used to for many, many years. So what can we do? What we need you to do is embed climate education across your curriculum. Yes, the DfE are changing it quite likely, but there's no time to lose. Let's just get on with it. You can use the Ministry of Eco-Education, free resources. You could sign your school up to Let's Go Zero or climate friendly schools to help decarbonise, save energy, reduce water use, improve biodiversity. There's all sorts of things you can do around your school, but definitely we need to start decarbonising. We want to try and get away from plastics and fossil fuels. And finally, you could try and sign up to Teach the Teacher, which is where your children, your pupils and students would get trained up by Teach the Teacher, and they can then deliver CPD to the full staff. I've found that hugely successful when I was teaching. So anyway, I hope you join us on this journey. We've got a long way to go. There is much work to be done, but everything we can do makes a difference. Thank you.